Hey, good morning everybody and welcome back to This Week in Dioramas. I am your host, TechChucker. If you aren't familiar with how this show operates, every week I go through Instagram looking for the coolest looking dioramas and I showcase them right here on the show. If you'd like to be showcased in a future episode, all you gotta do is upload your diorama pictures to Instagram and tag them with the hashtag This Week in Dioramas. Now, we've got an awesome showcase lined up for you today. I honestly am very surprised that I'm recording right now. So last week, God, it has been just a crazy whirlwind of things. So I got back from my vacation a week or two ago, and then the week that I got back, wound up having to go to a funeral. And then at the funeral, I think some of our family may have picked up COVID, me being one of those. So right now I'm getting towards, I think, middle to end of having COVID. This is my second time around. I definitely don't recommend it. If you don't have to get it, don't get it. So I'm feeling pretty under the weather. I really didn't think that I was going to have a chance to be able to record this, but I've got a few minutes. I figured, what the heck, let's do it. So my energy level is pretty low. Like really low. So make sure that you've got some caffeine. I'm making sure I've got some caffeine to keep me going. These dioramas that we have this week are amazing, so those should keep us going. But just note, I might not do near as much editing as I typically do with like the zoom in and all that stuff, just because I just don't have a lot of energy. Anyway, enough about that. You don't need to feel bad for me. I will be just fine. It's just at this point, I have a cold. So let's get into this week's episode. Let me bring this up. Like I said, I'm not going to do very much editing. So starting off, our friend at Vasco Toys created this commission 1/12 scale airplane cargo hold for D-Amazing. And I gotta say, this is looking awesome. It is ready to have a whole bunch of cool accessories thrown in. I'm sure D-Amazing is going to just do some awesome pictures with it. But I'm also seeing that this could very easily become some sort of a set that you sell more of, because this is really cool and this is something I think a lot of people would love to have. It just really turned out very clean. I love the little rivets that you've got holding these pieces, like the sheet metal in place. It just all is coming together very nicely. It just really works, and it looks like it's modular. So you saw over here, he's got it kind of closed in. Now we just have a side shot of the fuselage of this plane. That's awesome to have different options available to you to be able to take different shots. That is going to take you a long way to be able to make lots of great shots. So great job on this piece. Also, if you didn't know, so Vasco Toys, he is one of the other admins on my Facebook page, the Diorama HQ group. It's not a page, it's a group. If you aren't a member, go to Facebook, look up Diorama HQ or click the link in the description below. He and I are administrators of that group. I just wanted to bring it up. It's a great group. It's a great way for you to be able to share your work beyond just Instagram, to be able to share it on Facebook, but also a great way if you have questions or if you want to share some knowledge with others on how to make dioramas or different techniques. It's a great place to do that. If you have questions about where can I get this material or whatever, by all means, use that to your benefit. So click the link in the description and request join. Next, coming from Dmez Project. Let's see, diorama diecast scale 1/64th, or it's 1/64 scale. This is a really cool piece. So it's like a convenience store. What are they calling that? Andomart or Indomart, something like that. Not sure. I think this looks really good. I love the detail on here. So with it being 1/64th, that's Matchbox car size, very small, but lots of great detail. Love the awning. That looks great. And then we got like, it's almost like a menu or something up here, which is pretty darn cool. I am really digging on this. You guys that do the Matchbox car dioramas, you bring it every single time. I'm always impressed with those. Love these little people too. Those look awesome. I'm wondering if you painted those or not. This just turned out really good. And we've got, looks to be a light inside. Who doesn't love that? Great job. This next one is absolutely epic, coming from Chadchilla, back in the saddle again with their latest DIO project. Was by far the most labor-intensive one they've ever done. Thanks for looking. I gotta say, dude, you nailed it with this. It is so clean and so well constructed. I love it. This is a perfect display piece. You just nailed it on every aspect. I love it. I love the siding, the weathering, the paint on there looks so good. It looks like old wood. It just looks great. And then the timbers here painted in kind of a greenish color looks awesome as well. I just think you couldn't have done any better on it. It looks so good. Look at the sand here. That looks great. A little bit of vegetation to give a little bit of contrast and break up that tan look. This just looks awesome. You did a great job on it. Love these shingles. Really turned out nice. Let's keep going. More detail. Great job on this one. You really nailed it. All right, this one is coming from Noel Labyrinth Creation or Labyrinth Creation. Wait. Hover over Noel Bird Creations. Okay. I don't think we've ever showcased anything from you before, so let's see. Finally invested in some actual studio lighting. I've got a softbox coming for this light because this one gets a little hot sometimes, and I want to tone it down so I don't have these glaring hot spots on my face quite so much. But this looks awesome. The detail on here is amazing. I mean, just look at the paint apps and the sculpt work of all of this. It's just so incredible, and it always gives a smile to my face when you guys have these great, very realistic dioramas, and then you throw your hand in there. It's just, I don't know, it's a fun illusion where you think, oh, this is real. Oh, human hand. The detail on this, the little furniture pieces, it's so run down and nasty looking. This little book magazine, maybe it's a comic book or something. Looks so good. The radiator, everything about this looks so realistic. Such detail, such talent with the wow, you did a great job on this piece. All right, this one is coming from Black Lily B. Closer, darling. I absolutely adore the beautiful things that linger in the shadows. This is a very small diorama piece. You can see this is their hand. This is, barely the size of 2 fingertips. It's tiny, but I really dig it. It is super fun. It almost looks like it's a bottle cap, or at least the size of a bottle cap. But for the size of this thing, the amount of detail that's in here, I'm really digging on it. The little house looks great. There's some nice paint apps to it, some grasses and what have you. That is just fun. And that's one of the things that I love about this art is it can be 1/12 scale, 1/6 scale, or this might be 1/132nd scale. I don't know. It's tiny though, but we are going to cover everything. Anything that's miniaturized or just replicated of life, we're going to showcase it. So great job on this. Next, coming from Bunga Mezari. Let's see, this is sold. It's 30 by 20 centimeters. Again, another one of those matchbox size dioramas that just looks so realistic. The foliage in this is really the part that brings this to life. You just did a great job with the realism of this, with the hedges that are going all the way around. The trees themselves look so realistic, and then you throw in the cars, and I think there's an angle or two that you took of the shot. Yeah, it looks like you actually just went out and took a picture of a parking lot, which would not be interesting. But the fact that this is a 1/32nd scale or 1/64th scale diorama piece, and it looks so realistic, that is what is amazing about this. You just did a great job. I love the dirt, I don't know if this is dirt or asphalt from here, but we've got a little bit of resin for some water puddles. You really did a great job. Yeah, it's supposed to be asphalt, and it looks so good. Wow, you guys are really nailing it this week. All right, next up, coming from Law Creations, friend of the show. We've showcased their work in the past several times. This is a custom 1/18th scale streetlight accessory. Created some piping and connectors in Tinkercad, then 3D printed them, put the pieces together and glued them, magnetized the inside of the lamp, and used a balloon LED to make it a working light. You can check out the photos for more specific details. First off, before we get into talking about the light stand, let's talk about the brick and the wall pieces and whatnot, because I think the paint apps on here are so very nice. I really dig the way that this looks. There's a lot of detail throughout this. It's not just a brick wall. We've got this kind of base piece first, and then the bricks, and then there's a bunch of, there's some mortar, but some of it's coming out. We've got leaves and all sorts of different details, and then you've got an end cap or a top cap on there, and the end cap column, which you can see some brick coming through here. So there's tons of detail just on the diorama piece itself. And then we get into this light stand, and the detail on here is great as well. You've got some texture within the paint, which tells me that you must use some sort of texture to add to the paint or whatever, but I love the way that this turned out. It looks so good. We'll cycle through some of your pictures. You can see there the working light. Always fun to be able to have some working lights on our dioramas, and this just looks great. I love it. I'm wondering what kind of 3D printer you have, because sometimes it's a little tough to 3D print circular pieces, especially tubes. But let me know. I'd be interested to know. Oh, okay. So here we go. All right. Yeah, let me know what kind of 3D printer you've got. Is it FDM? It looks like it's probably FDM. I'm looking here. You can see the print lines. Usually FDM, you're going to see those print lines a little bit more than on a resin, blah, blah, blah. But this just really turned out great. Always love being able to showcase your work. Next up, coming from Diorama Boy, he's always nailing his pieces, and he's always got great pictures of them. The graffiti always looks awesome. The accessories are always looking awesome within the pieces. He does a lot of these little street sidewalk kind of dios, where it looks like you can kind of connect them together and extend and make them even longer and what have you, which is great. The ambiance of this is always fun. The lighting with the darkness, and then the street lights from the actual piece lighting it up really adds to the look and feel to this. I go again back to the graffiti because it looks so good. I'm always afraid to try and start painting crap on my dioramas because I just don't have the confidence in my graffiti skills. So I need to just start trying it, because everybody always tells me, well, if it doesn't look great, sometimes graffiti doesn't look great. That's just the way that it is. Some of it looks great, and some of it looks like, a blind 3-year-old kid with no arms did it, and that's fine. So I need to just try it. So the lesson here is just try it. But this turned out great. I always love showcasing your work. All right, this next one is coming from Mr. Spraken. I think I said that right. This is, let's see, made this dio on commission for some good friends of mine. All fully magnetized super accessories and roughly 24 inches long, 12 inches deep, 15 inches tall. So this is a pretty good size piece. Love making it even with annoying bowing foam. Yeah, sometimes the foam that we get is not as flat and straight as we'd like. I've never been able to find a good way of being able to rebend that foam once it has gotten that bend in it. I've tried different techniques and then wound up kind of ruining the pieces. So if you have a good technique for how to bend the foam back into a flat, straight look, that would be great. Let us know. But this piece is great because it's got a lot of different character to it. So number one, we've got the vertical kind of siding style here. We've got some blue brick. We've got regular grayish brick. We've got a top cap. all of this brings it together to look like a full-on back alley kind of work area. And then we've got the self-storage with the O drop down. That looks awesome. And you can kind of see there is a little bit of a shadow where the O used to be. That's a great, I love that attention to detail. That is so cool. Maybe you didn't intend it, because I'm looking and maybe it's not there, but I feel like I'm seeing it. So I'm giving that to you. The weathering on here, just look at the subtle weathering as you get closer down towards the lights. That looks awesome. We've got the drawstring for the garage doors. That, again, any extra detail that you can throw in to make this look just like real life is always going to help your pieces look more realistic. Again, this piece just looks awesome. I love the little handles here on the doors. Again, more details. Throwing in these little screw holes, more details, adds so much to it. We've got a little security cam. That actually looks realistic. So yeah, all these little details come together to just make this piece look really good. I'm guessing whoever it is that bought this piece is just gonna love it to death. So great job on this piece. Next, coming from Boba Chuck, rock on. This is an epic piece. It looks so good. So we've got the skeleton guys from Mezco, and then we've got this stage scene, and it just looks so good. And you took a great picture of it to really capture that feel of what this diorama piece is giving us. So we've got the scaffolding pieces, which is kind of a must when it comes to a rock concert stage scene. We've got some great looking speakers and whatnot. You just really nailed it with this piece. I'm wondering, did these speakers come with the figures? Same with the drum set. Where did all this come from? Because I'm not familiar. I haven't really followed the Mezco character, those little figures much. So I don't really know what all came with the set and what didn't. But I am really digging on this piece. You really did a great job, especially with the lights that you've got up here. That adds to the ambiance of the display. Yeah, you just really did a great job on it. I am digging on it, and I really dig the checkerboard that you've got around it. That also really adds to the piece. Dang, great job. All right, this next one is coming from Styro Smith DIO Arts. The work that he does is phenomenal. That's just the word that has to be used. He just does a great job with it. So this is actually a custom diorama piece and customized action figure all in one. So we've got just impeccable detail throughout. I mean, look at the wrought iron kind of grid that's covering the window. These little details are just absolutely amazing. We've got detail all over the place. Down here, right here. I mean, it's just so cool looking. The paint apps look awesome. And then we've got Doc Ock, and you can see that he's added some weathering to this suit to make it a little more realistic, a little more fun looking. And I believe he got rid of those plastic arms, and he's got those I've seen people use, I know Life with Brock, he used like the metal bendy arms from some USB lamp or something like that, and was able to make this actually bendable. I need to do that with mine because those plastic ones are just garbage. It's terrible. But this is so cool. And then I'm wondering if you use the original or not, or if these are actually articulated, the clamps. I'm not sure, but I am really digging on this piece. And then it's got a backside to it. So now we've got SpiderMan here sitting, gonna make a phone call or whatever, little tiny baby Groot, and then a tiny Ant-Man. This is just so cool. I love the paint apps, the sculpt work, and then just the whole thing together is a great piece to put up on a shelf. It tells a story. Wow, this is just great. Every time he does something, he nails it. And again, this one he nailed. All right, this next one is coming from Tamar Miniaturit and Miniaturit. So I think it's, don't kill me if I'm wrong, husband and wife, I think. So here's a photo A few photos of the process. The Riyadh was my third creation since I started creating miniatures and dioramas a couple of years ago. The Moroccan Riyadh. Diorama 1/20th scale back in 2021. We never showcased this. I hadn't found it back then, but we found it now, and this looks amazing. The details on this are just, there's details everywhere. It looks so realistic. These columns, the twisted kind of column that you've got down here, all of the details on these windows and whatnot looks just amazing. I mean, there's just so much going on with this piece. Wow. I'm blown away by the amount of detail. Now, I can relate to the back of this. This is what the back of my dioramas that I've got up here look like. It's duct tape, it looks blah, but then when you look at the front, it looks amazing. And that's what you've got. It's the talent. Look at the detail on that. Oh my gosh. Where are you people from? This is just crazy. You can't be earthly with this kind of talent. I'm always blown away. You guys just nail it every single time. Yeah, this is great. I love it. Great job. All right, this one coming from our friend DrippoRama. If you aren't familiar, make sure you're following him on Instagram. Follow all of these creators, but then also go to his YouTube channel, Drip Mode. He's just a fun guy, and he's such a talent. I always love it when he posts up something because it's always super cool. It's so cleanly done. It's unique. This is a Beetlejuice diorama, and it looks awesome. It's a little smaller than some of the epic pieces that he's done in the past, but still not lacking for talent and whatnot because it is just so cool looking. So it's the graveyard. Look at all these cool details. The little light up sign looks awesome. Everything about it just looks so cool. His presentation, always I talk about the presentation of his dioramas, is second to none because it always turns out looking so nice and so professional. And again, this is one that he just really did a great job on it. I dig it. I dig it a lot. Okay, next up, coming from C Goosey. Let's see, something they made. Something he made. So this looks to be a sewer diorama, chock full of details. We got this little ladder coming up to a street level. Unfortunately, the video is a little low resolution, but if you're not following C Goosey, you really should be because he does some amazing work. Look at that door. That looks so cool. There's a light behind it. There's a light up here. There's so much going on with the sculpt, so much going on with the paint. We've got some water resin. No, there's not water in there. Is there? It looks like there is because it's got a little bit of a shine to it. This just, looks so good. Every time he nails it. Always. It's always so good. All right, next up, coming from NeoArtCore out of Bordeaux, France. So Laurent Casagrande. Excuse me, my COVID is acting up. Let's see, un super project pour, I don't speak, I almost said Spanish, French. But I don't know that there's a lot that we need to explain about this because this piece just looks amazing. First off, the structure of it looks awesome. The paint apps are so good. This really looks like real stone. I'm just really impressed with it. I would love to know what this banner is saying along the top. I should go in and translate it. Maybe I'll do that after I'm done recording the show, but I love this piece. I love it when you guys do full building dioramas. Just do the whole thing because that is so cool to be able to see everything, all the angles of the different parts of the building. Love that. Love these windows with the little shutters and then the little kind of like gate or I guess guard against somebody walking out of the window. Then you look at the shingles on the roof and that is just so cool looking. I love it. It looks great. Who the heck is coming up here to the chimney to put their tag up there? That's what we need to know. Who's doing that and why are they defacing this awesome looking piece? Anyway, great job on this. The talent, it is so cool looking. I'm glad that I found it. I hope you will share more of your work if you happen to be doing more dioramas. Use the hashtag This Week in Dioramas and you might get showcased again. This next one is coming from Masayuki Haga. I think I said that close to right. This is chock full of detail. The talent with this is just mind-blowing. There's so much going on. We've got amazing detail with the stone facade here, and then we've got kind of a stucco style here. The another one of those shingle styles with the rounded pieces. It just looks so good. We've got a nice light that's giving it a great warm glow here. A wrought iron kind of gate fence here, some plants. The plants look realistic, the pots, everything about this just looks so realistic. This cool little sign hanging down. Oh, your work is just so good. The paint tones on the rocks, it really does look like a real building. Take your hand out and this again would look like a real building. I'm just blown away by the talent that you guys have. Week in and week out, I love doing this show. It's just mind-boggling. And then last but not least, coming from Seething Customs. This is sold, but they're accepting new commissions. So reach out to them via DM if you are interested in getting something commissioned from them. This is a 1/12 scale diorama, kind of a apartment complex room. We've got maybe we don't want to rent this out. It's needs a little bit of work, but you did a great job with it. I love the wallpaper. It really looks good. It looks old and nasty. And then we've got, you can see the board backer behind it. That's a cool touch. The door is painted very nice. It looks kind of weathered and old. It fits with this style. You just did a really nice job on it. And you must have gotten this maybe at Hobby Lobby or whatever, but I'm guessing you painted it because, you know, you can get the unpainted dollhouse furniture, and that's what I think this is. And I'm guessing you painted it. And it looks great. Love the chair. This looks awesome. The way that you did that, the way that you opened it up looks very, very cool. I really am digging on that. There's just nothing to gripe about. Not that I'm here to gripe about anything. It looks really good. You really did a great job on this piece. Everybody did a great job on their pieces throughout this week. Make sure that you're using the hashtag This Week in Dioramas. It gives me the best chance to be able to find your work, possibly showcase it in a future episode. Make sure when you go to Instagram that you follow the hashtag This Week in Dioramas. There's a lot of stuff out there. I can only showcase a very, very tiny amount of what's out there. I keep saying we're getting close to 20,000 posts having used that hashtag, which is amazing. I can't thank you guys enough for supporting the show, supporting each other. With that, make sure you go out, give each other a follow, a like, leave a comment. Everybody loves getting comments on their posts. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, the bell notification, all that jazz. And hopefully, as long as I can get past this stupid COVID junk. And oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, not only did I get COVID, I also, for some reason, my back got thrown out doing nothing. But that makes coughing really, really fun. So every time I cough, my back hurts. So yeah, hopefully I'll get through all this and we'll be able to have an episode next week. If we don't, such is life. But have a great week, have a great weekend, and I will see you when I see you.